Perhaps at one point in your life, you have already experienced being x-rayed, and the results are always interesting. It's like having a glimpse at your own death. I was so curious about what machines did doctors use back then before x-rays were invented. So I googled and this was the answer. Physical examination and doctor's best guess. That's crazy! Hi, I'm Tej, and welcome to another episode of The SCI Show. And for this episode, we'll be talking about the X-rays. I will be discussing the following: how X-rays was discovered, how X-rays advanced society, and lastly, X-rays now and in the future. Back in 1895, it was William Röntgen that had accidentally discovered X-rays when he was experimenting with cathode ray tubes. Cathode ray tubes generate a high amount of energy depending on the material that is used. He covered the CTR with a black cloth before generating the energy. To his surprise, another screen outside of the tube had lit up even if the cathode ray tube was covered in black. So, there must be some invincible ray that contains the energy that penetrated outside the cathode ray tube through the screen. X are always associated with unknowns, so he termed this thing X-rays. The first X-ray image was the hand of his wife. This right here is a photograph of her hand bones and also her wedding ring. X-rays have high energy, and so when this hits a low density material, it will just pass through it. But when it hits a high density material, the energy will be absorbed by it. So our body is highly made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, low density materials. But our bones, on the other hand, is made out of calcium. So, it was reflected in the photograph. This discovery had received a lot of recognition. And in fact, this is the first thing or the first discovery that actually won the Nobel Prize in Physics. William Röntgen was generous enough not to patent his X-ray discovery because he thinks that this would actually slow down humanity. Within a year after its discovery, the United States even used this for treating cancer and also for diagnostics. By the early 1900s, every hospital in the world would want to use this technology. At the time, tuberculosis had killed 1 out of 7 people in the United States and Europe. X-rays, at the time of its discovery, has helped lessen the spread of this infection. You might have read in your history books that tuberculosis is a threat in warfare. Tuberculosis during World War I was partly eliminated by screening. The army basically wouldn't accept any recruit with TB and would discharge any soldier who'd overdeveloped it. At this time, radiography was unavailable on a large scale and very expensive. Screening was done only by physical examination and was much less effective than the mass use of chest X-rays. For World War II, on the other hand, the military led the way in screening chest radiography, and that has lessened the threat of tuberculosis in warfare. Well, I think it's safe to say that without radiography using X-rays, a lot more would die. Also, this discovery of X-rays had birthed the numerous inventions that also won Nobel Prizes in physics and chemistry. For example, the discovery of DNA was through the use of X-ray crystallography. This revealed the helical structure of DNA that made developments in genetics possible. X-rays have paved the way to the development of modern biology. X-rays, as modern as it sounds, had fastened the progress of science in general. Just like I said earlier, X-rays have paved way for other smaller X-ray based discoveries. For example, we have phase contrast imaging. We also have advanced water purification membranes. Other studies include cultural heritage studies, target-based drug discovery, radiation therapy, time-resolved chemistry and biology, photovoltaic and energy storage materials, semiconductor fabrication metrology, mineral morphology for enhanced oil and gas extraction. Constant breakthrough in X-ray research has led to accuracy of radiology, all the while in decreasing potential harms to both the patients and the doctors. Maybe a few decades from now, X-rays will soon be part of our household. Someday, X-rays will be personal. So that's it for now. To wrap up everything, I have discussed how X-ray was discovered, how X-rays advance society, X-rays now and in the future. That's 5 minutes. I'm Teach, and I'll see you in the next one.